ورحمة العالمين مكي المدني والأمي والخارجي الهاشمي حبيب إله العالمين خاطب طه وياسين خلب الأحمد صد حسنين أبو القاسم محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وإمام مشارب والمغارب إمام النجم الثاقب مسد الله الغالب غرم الله كل غالب مطلوب كل طالب مولانا ومقتدنا وولينا وولينا وشفينا عين الله وجه الله يد الله نور الله رسالة الله صفات الله شافع محشر ساقي كوثر فاتح بدر الحنين والخبر ميزان الأعمال مقلب الأحوال رئيس العارفين سيد الواسعين إمام المتقين وارث علم النبيين أمير المؤمنين لابن أبي طالب
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد فرقان حميد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Just a bit high. Excuse me.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صلوات بيجي محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Let me be very clear and clarify one thing. I'm not an alim. I'm not a Maulana. I have not been to any institution in Iran or Iraq, nor to any religious institution in India. I am a student. I learn and I try to give back what I learn. And this is my first time with you people, and I am very honored to be here to address you all. My pronunciation may not be what you expect it to be, because it has Indian connotations to it, and maybe the youngsters may find some of the words not very clear. Just point out, I'll try and repeat. If you have any questions, any doubts about what I have said, what I'm going to say, please ask me afterwards. Don't hesitate. Because maybe my thinking is different from what you all been hearing. And each one of us who speak have their own point of views and their own thoughts and their own methodology of presenting the institution. This is a university. And such a vast university as that, it has a curriculum which is not defined. And the curriculum started with Adam and it still is on. There's no end to this curriculum. I have been specifically asked by my son when I was still in India that I should speak on leadership. What is leadership? It is an interesting yet difficult subject to cover in a limited time. I realize that people have come from distances. I myself had lived long back in London, so I realized the distances to be covered to come to these places for Majlis. And you have to go back. Luckily tomorrow is a Sunday, so you can relax tomorrow morning. Salawat. What is a leader? Who is a leader? A leader is the one who leads, who is in the forefront of everything, who sets an example, who shows the way and the path, and who can be better leaders than what we have. The leaders started from Hazrat Adam. The leadership, the concept, the ideas, the ideology, the thinking, and the leadership developed as the human mind developed. Islam is not new. Islam didn't come with Prophet Muhammad. It was perfected by Prophet Muhammad. So we have actually 1,24,000 leaders who have set examples in different places, in different ways, in different societies, in different regions, different communities. Each one of them who came, the message, an ideology, a thinking, and a leadership. They led a group, maybe a small tribe, maybe a city, maybe a region, but there were 5 who commanded the world. And they all had their own regions. But the last prophet, that's our prophet, Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when his nur manifested in this world in the shape of human being, I'll say manifested in the shape of human being, because if he had come in any other form, more doubts would have been created. The people may not accepted him in the way they accepted, because they might think he's something different. It's not like us. Even though he came and he informed the people who had doubted his honesty, his integrity, but he was the most honest person. There's no doubt about his honesty. There's never been anything but integrity. His character was unmatched in the society. So much so for 40 years, he showed his leadership through his character. He never ever deviated from the path of the righteous. His path was that of the righteous. He was admired, yet people were jealous of him because of his honesty. He was liked, yet there were many who, out of fear of what could happen, disliked him. There were 2 things going on in his life: a parallel movement not to accept him, and a movement who had accepted him as the most honest person, yet not a prophet, because he had not declared himself as a prophet. He was waiting for another perfect leader to appear. Equally perfect leader to appear, so that he could vouch for the leadership of his prophethood without any doubt, without any hesitation. When the time came, again the Nur appeared in the manifestation of a human being as Ali. When these 2 leaders met for the first time on this earth in the shape of human being, the Nur must have come many times. Every prophet, when they called Ali, called Muhammad, they must have come in the shape of Nur. I'll give an example later on. I mean, it's not today, but some other time if I get another opportunity to speak to you. That when they met the first time on this earth, the Nur traveled from the earth to Arsh. And that is the place we all turn towards for our namaz, for our sajda. It's not the 4 walls. It's not the 4 walls. The 4 walls were demolished, were constructed, were demolished, were constructed. 7 times, 8 times, whatever it is. But it is that place where the 2 very perfect leaders of the universe first met on this earth was made as a place for reverence, where throughout the world everybody had to turn towards that way for their namaz, for their sajda. The leaders have to be very perfect to lead these people. Now, not only these 2 were the leaders, I must also point out that there were other leaders at the time. No, please. Sorry, I just didn't. There were other people who were also considered to be leaders at the time, and I must point out to my young children here, Hazrat Imran, father of Hazrat Ali, popularly known as Abu Talib, was an equally responsible leader. He protected the Prophet from his childhood, gave him shelter, raised him up, and then made sure that his sons were the real followers of Prophet. That was the leadership that he gave to Islam as the first thing. He told his sons, go with Muhammad, pray. Now there are some people who doubt his religious beliefs. When you look at him and look at his qualities of leadership, he was the one who raised the sword for the protection of Islam the first time. And that the leadership qualities brought down from his self to his other children, not to Hazrat Ali. Ali is special. Other children. So leaders have to show a path. And Abu Talib showed the path to his children towards Islam. That was the first quality of a non-Noor personality to lead in Islam. When I say non-Noor, he was not clear of Noor. He was a human being like us, but very special human being, because he was raised in a family which believed in Wahdaniyat, which believed in one God. They never ever had any other gods. They were the protectors of Kaaba. Custodians, protectors. They were the ones who had the lock and key of Kaaba. But they never had any of their own gods inside Kaaba. That's one thing. And that is why he did not need to read Kalma. And the objections that others make about his religious belief is that he never read Kalma. Kalma was to be read by those who were not in Islam. But those who believed in Islam need not have read Kalma. I'm not deviating, I'm on my subject. I'm talking about leadership qualities. The leadership qualities were shown by Hazrat Abu Talib in that way. Then what are the leaders? Who should be the leaders? We have 14 Masumeen. They are the leaders. They're the pure leaders. Then for the ladies, we have Hazrat Khadija. We have Jana Fatima Zahra. We have Jana Zainab, Hazrat Kulsum. It's a very, very vast subject. I'm just trying to sort of gel some points and come to my conclusion. Leadership emanated from the house of Ahlul Bayt. That was the center of the leadership for Islam. And these 5 personalities who were the members of the Qissa were the pure ones. And their leadership qualities were something which nobody could match. Each one of them in their individual rights showed us the way. A leader, as per Hazrat Ali, should be the nearest to the poorest of the society. The leader, as per Hazrat Ali, I want children to be very attentive in this. The leader, as per Hazrat Ali, should be nearest to the poorest of the society. That is why he always wore very coarse, rough clothes. He never bothered about whether there is a patch on the cloth or not. His robes always had patches. And that he showed leader is where they should be. Because nobody should think, when a poor person should not think, that look at my leader, he's dressed in such a good fashion and I have no proper clothes. By his food, the hard bread which he had to break on his knees, dipped in water, was an example enough for the leaders to know that the poor could get only that much. And he said, I'm going to eat that. I'm going to eat that. He could have had anything from the universe, whatever he wanted. It just a thought and would have been there. And there are examples of this happening. But no. His leadership, he showed, it's got to be poorest of poor. He even repaired his own shoes, his own footwear. My talk is only for the children here. My elders are there, my age mates are there. Please, I'm just trying to get the children, because the children sitting here. They showed that if your shoe is broken, I am a caliph, imam as well as a caliph. I am a ruler at the moment, but I am going to repair my own shoes. Why should I get somebody else to repair my shoes? He repaired his own shoes. Now let me just show you one example of the leadership. One day he was sitting in the mosque, eating. A man comes in and sees he's breaking his bread on the knees. And he said, why shall I ask him when he doesn't have enough for himself? So Mullah knew what he'd come for. He said, go, that house. Pointed to Imam Hussain's house. He said, go to that house. You get good food there. And there was a lavish spread out. This man sat and he was eating one morsel and putting one morsel away in his bag. Imam Hussain came and he said, what are you doing? Why are you taking this? He said, there's a man in the mosque. He is eating this bread, I'm taking it for him. He said, that's my father Ali. See, that is the leadership. That is the leadership. And he's showing this way, how to be a good leader. Not like today's leaders. And Ali, when he appointed his governors, made sure that none of them ever lived in palaces. We have a perfect example of Salman Farsi. When he reached Madain, there was a big reception, jalsa going on, jashan going on, people are all festoons were put up, decorations were done. He said, what's this for? He said, our governor is coming. So the governor's reception. He said, have you seen your governor? He said, no, but we are waiting for him to come. He said, I am the governor. I am Salman. And astonished, I said, you are Salman? He said, yes, I am Salman. And all he had was a small pony, maybe one or two dresses, a bedroll made of date leaves, and a small pot of water. And I said, okay, come, let's go to the palace. He said, no, I'm going to stay in the mosque. So you're going to stay in the mosque? I said, yes. I am at Ali's representative. I have to live in the mosque, and I will rule from the mosque. I live in the mosque. I pray in the mosque. That is the leadership again. Again, he is showing the leader doesn't have to be in a very affluent society. He has got to be with the masses. Where are the masses? The masses will be in the mosque. He's going for the prayers. And he will meet them there. He will talk to them there. He will live with them. He'll get to know what the problems are. Now we have some leaders in the modern day and world. When they come out of their house, there's a cavalcade of cars. Police is there, military is there, tanks are there, they go on procession. They don't know what's happening in their own world. They don't even know what's happening in their own palace, even in the world. And then he made another example. He told his governors who should be appointed. He said, appoint those who has a good family background. Appoint those who are honest. Stay away from those who always praise you, for they are the ones who is going to run away first when the time comes. Isn't it happening now? How many people deserted these rulers of the Middle East when this uprising started? They all ran away. They came here to your country. Those who were opposing this country, they came here running and said, please give us shelter, because we're being harassed in our own city. Wait, till yesterday you were the rulers. What happened? Oh, no. That was facade. Now we want to help. Please help us. And they didn't come empty-handed. They came with money, siphoned off from the people. But the governors of Hazrat Ali were so honest that they lived the life that was shown by Hazrat Ali. The leaders have to be pious, God-fearing. Unless a leader is God-fearing, he cannot produce results. He has to be God-fearing. He has to produce results. And how will he produce results? If he's afraid of God, if he knows he's answerable to God, Allah, God, then only he will be able to deliver the right sort of path for the people to lead. He will be able to lead his group, he will be able to lead the country. If a leader is not a pious person, if he doesn't fear Allah, doesn't fear God, who will he fear? And how will people fear him when he doesn't have fear in his heart? So for people to be loved, people to love him and to be afraid of him, he has to be fearful to God, he has to love Allah. The piety in a leader is the cause why Iran is being developed. Because their leaders are pious people. They are mullahs, they are maulvis, they are ayatollahs. And they are guiding the community with the fear of God. Maybe there are some people who are not that honest, but basically honesty is there. That's why development is taking place there. So you have to understand why our imams have suffered. They have suffered to show us the paths. And some of the examples there, Imam Hussain alayhi salam, he was in prison, in a dungeon, with no light, and all kinds of people were sent to him. I will not go into details. All kinds of people went to him. Even ladies were sent there, with bad intentions. But when they came out as pious persons. Because when they saw the piety of Imam, the way he prayed all the time, the way he was in sajda most of the time, and he prayed through the movement of the jailers. There was no light there. There was no time factor there. He couldn't see the sun. When he knew the jailers were changing the places, changing guard, he knew the time has come for him to pray the wajib namaz. But throughout the day he was in namaz. So the executioner who was sent there, he came out and said, I can't execute this person. He's such a pious person, I have become pious also in his community. And a very bad charactered woman was also sent there, and she came out and said, look, I can't. I have seen Jannat there. Praying with him, I have seen Jannat. I am leaving my ways, I am getting the right path now. That is leadership. That is leadership. Then we have the example of the leadership in education. Imam Jafaria alayhi salam. Where he had 4,000 students sitting with him. And now, in this day and age, research is going on what Imam Jafar Sadiq said that time. In fact, work is being done in Sorbonne University. They have printed a small book, the preliminary findings. And the name they've given to the book is the greatest philosopher and scientist of Islam, Imam Sadiq. And what he has said then, and if we were to read and follow, we will definitely become the leaders in the field of education, in the field of science, in the field of mathematics, in the field of astronomy and surgery. I mean, he was the one who said that in the human body, all the elements found on the earth exist. That was 1400 years back. Some 300 to 400 years back, with a great fear and trepidation, two scientists, doctors, took out some corpses and found out, yes, what he said was correct through autopsy and postmortems and all. They talked about black holes, they talked about universe. At that time he said, people are coming from other planets, other worlds, because they're so advanced that you are not able to understand them. You're not able to see them. We're talking about UFOs now. We're talking about UFOs now. We're saying, yes, possibility is there. So they're looking at that. So how can we miss such leaders? How can we move away from such leaders? It's most unfortunate, as somebody very rightly said, that we have moved away from leaders and gave up Quran. We have given up Quran, we have moved away from leaders. The only leader that we say, oh, Fazail Ali Masayib Hussain. That is, say, is our life. Yes, we cannot leave Masayib Hussain. We cannot leave Fazail Ali. But understand. I remember, I'm sure my age group people will also remember, when this fellow Gaddafi first came to power, in an interview he said, I want to rule Libya on the basis of the letter written by fourth Caliph, he said, to his governors. But he's very soon forgotten. Just the affluence, the power made him crazy. But they recognize this fact, that this governance of Ali, this leadership of Ali, can be very useful for this world. We don't have to look very far for leaders. We don't look in the modern day leaders. We have 14 leaders. We have 14 leaders. Look at the way Imam Raza went for namaz. When he was forced by the Caliph to go for namaz, he warned him, don't force me to go for namaz. He was forced. Over his coarse clothes, he put on white clothes. And when he started from his house, he started by saying Takbir, Allahu Akbar. He showed how to go for namaz. From the moment you leave the house, by the time you reach the mosque, go just with Takbir. But then, people started following him, and chances was that there may be a big following for him and there may be a revolution, so he was stopped on the way and said, please don't. Because everyone was also crying, because he was also crying with Takbir. He showed how to pray namaz, how to go for namaz. Do you follow? Do I follow? No, I don't. I take out the easiest possible route, the most comfortable way to go. On the way, I talk, I chat, I laugh, and I reach there. Because I have to go for namaz, I have to go to mosque for Friday namaz, I have to go. But do I go with the intention I should, as I should? No, I don't. And I'm talking about myself, I'm talking about other people. There are more pious people than me, but I'm talking about myself. No. And by doing that, am I setting an example? No.
No.
Good. Who said that is very good. Who said that? Very good. Thank you. Thank you. You are very right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I got you right there.
You got me right there. Salawat. Very nice. I appreciate. I appreciate what you said. I appreciate what you said.
Welcome.
So we also have some other leaders. The 72 of Karbala. Plus the others of Karbala. I'm not going to Masahib yet, but I'm just touching down. In Karbala, we have leaders for youngsters who came forward and said, we want to go first. Can we forget Hazrat Qasim saying that death to me is sweeter than honey? That is the leadership for the youngsters, to protect Islam. Can we forget Honor Muhammad, who said, no, we want to go first? Again, youngsters. Islam, especially the true Islam, which we follow, has given a lot of leaders for us to emulate and make our lives perfect. We should set an example. We should become leaders. We should not allow anybody else to be leaders. Because it is our right to be leaders. As followers of Ali, as followers of Panjatan, as followers of Charda Masumeen, as Azadaran Hussain, it is our right to be the leaders. And we can be leaders by the examples, whether we are in school, at workplace, or college. By our character, by our values, by our reading standards, by coming first in the class, or being among the first in the class. We can be leaders, we can be examples. And if we don't set an example, then are we, as my very good friend said, right in saying that we are followers of Ali? Or followers of Imam Hussain? No, we are not.
No.
No, we are not.
Oh.
And for my girls, if we don't practice what has been taught to us, what has been shown to you, then you cannot claim to be the followers of Hazrat Fatima or the Nabi Zainab. How can we forget the parda of Hazrat Fatima? By the parda, by the hijab, she's shown the way. And she's become the leader of the leaders. That this is the way of life. Never ever have we seen anywhere Janabi Fatima asking Hazrat Ali for something.
Yes.
Because she was told when she was leaving her father's house, don't ask Ali for anything which he may not be able to give you and embarrass him. Now this is Rahmatul Alameen, who could have given anything to his daughter, is telling the lady of Jannat, who could have asked anything from Allah, from the part of the universe, that she should not embarrass Amirul Mu'mineen, the ruler of universe. What would have prevented her asking, and what would have prevented him getting it? No. No. Rasulullah knew that Ali would not do anything which would be setting a bad example. Rasulullah knew that if there were no food in their house for 3 days, Ali will not ask Allah to send it, but Ali will go and earn it. Ali will go and earn it. And he also knew that on the way back, somebody will approach Ali and say, I am very poor, I am needy, I don't have food in the house. And Ali will give away whatever he has earned that day to that person and come back home. It's a different thing that Allah rewarded him. It's a different thing. Allah rewarded him by good food. When he came to the house, the smell of the food was there, and he asked him, Fatima, he said, what is this? He said, Jibreel brought some food. Can we forget the household of Ali going without food for 3 days, consecutive 3 days, at the time of breaking fast? Because first day somebody comes and said, I am poor, I am needy, I don't have food. Then coming and saying that I am yatim, I am miskeen, coming and saying I am a traveler. And the reward for that was not only the food, but also the ayat in Surah Insan said, those who give food are the best people in the world. It's a reward. What a reward. What a reward. And then he prays. When it's known that when Ali prays, you can take out the arrow from his legs and you won't feel it. If a person comes and says, I am hungry, I need food, he gives away his ring. And again an ayat comes. Those who give an away in the mass, zakat. See, the rewards are there. That Ali may get rewards in the way of ayat. We will get rewards in the way of sawab. What we do, definitely we'll also get the benefit. The children will get the benefit. The elders will get the benefit. Because sawab is something which is not limited to us personally. Sawab is given out. Sawab is spread.
Yeah.
What I may earn definitely will be given to my sons, to my grandsons. What the children earn will definitely be given to the parents as well as the children. So this is a leadership. If we build our characters to that height, to that excellence, I'm sure the children will also benefit and they will also emulate us. Also emulate us. I'm trying to restrict my time to about 20-30 minutes. I don't want to go much there because the nights are cold, the weather is very cold outside, you know, I have to
At least
travel.
1 hour should be.
1 hour is
Mashallah,
good.
you're doing very well, please.
Sadhu.
Nare Takbir! Nare Risalat! Nare Henry! Silva!
That's coming to now, leadership is again through books. And the best leader we have in the form of books is Quran. It covers every subject on the earth. What is not there in the Quran? If you were to study, you will know. It covers science, it covers engineering, it covers geography, it covers psychology, it covers physiology. Everything that is there is in Quran. You know, search for it. Researches are being done. People are printing books, publishing books through research by taking our subjects, indexes. I'm sure the internet is there for you all to see what is there. Please, just settle down, settle down. Salat. You have been so good in reciting your salam, so sit down. Sit down. I know it's too much for you to bear, to listen to all this. Just bear it. Salawat
Yes.
with him.
Nare Haidari.
So I want to say,
Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
The Quran, if we study it, can lead us to the path of righteousness. This Quran not only has history, not only has instructions, but it has all the ingredients which makes us a perfect person. Study, not just read in Arabic, not just become a hafiz. Read the meanings. If even the meanings are not clear, read the commentary. Why this particular thing was said? Why this ayat came? What this ayat actually means? I just said, Hazrat Ali did something and the ayat came. At the news, when he received the news of the martyrdom of Hazrat Hamza, he said very simply, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Jibreel came and told Prophet Muhammad, Allah says that in all your troubles, in all the problem times, say this, recite this. Ali said it, Allah accepted it and sent it back. Ali did something, Allah sent an ayat. I am going to tread on a very narrow path, and I always, when I come to this topic, ask a question. Who actually is the author of Quran? Allah is supposed to. Allah is. But why is it that Ali does something and Allah sends a message? Ali does something. He gives her food, the message comes. He gives a ring, message comes. He said something, message comes. He walks into a mosque.
Because Allah is pleased with him, mashallah. So he's sending his messages.
oh, you sent my message.
He walks into the mosque and Prophet says, Jibreel has come and told me that you and your Shias are going to go to Jannat. But are we really that place in the love of Ali and following of Ali that we can be 100% certain of being there? I again say that for travel we need a passport, for entry we need a visa. So to go into Jannat we need both, we need passport and visa. The passport are the wajibats. The passport of the wajibats. The visa is the love of Ahlul Bayt. So if we have both, our leaders will definitely say, yes, this is my folk. I want them with me. Don't leave them behind. Come. And we embrace with open hands. It's the tears collected by Janab Fatima is the visa. What wajibats we have to perform is the passport, because Ali performed all those wajibats. Hussain performed all those wajibats. Janab Fatima performed all those wajibats. In shackles, Imam Zainul performed. And his name people forgot from Ali ibn Hussain. Everybody said Zainul Abidin, says Sajuddin. Why? Because he was that. Performance of namaz, performance of zakat, performance of everything. He was in shackles for so many years, 2 years. 2 years he was in chains. 2 years his neck was in thorns. Yet he never forgot Allah. He never forgot his prayers. And that's another example of leader. You may be in the utter pain. You may be in shackles. You may be surrounded with your women folk who were not in parda, whose parda was taken away, who was bound in rassan, bound in maybe very rough sort of a coarse rope. But they all kept their senses. They all kept their love with Allah. They all kept their links with Allah. They always prayed. Zain al-Abidin, Sayyid Sajideen. We have an example there. We have the example of other Imams. We have to look at the Imams, their lives. And that's enough for us to have leaders. Those who has deviated from the way are tyrants. They are the followers of Yazid, the followers of Muawiyah. And one by one, they're either being shot down or being thrown out of the powers. Yes. Look at the way these tyrants have ended their lives, in gutters. Each one of them were found in gutters. You know where is? Where is Yazid? In gutter. Where is Muawiyah? In gutter. So those who deviated and followed their way, started living in palaces, torturing people, and living a life of luxury, ultimately ended up in gutter. But those who came nearer to the people, those who had the sufferings of the people to their heart, are the real leaders, even today. And the only example we can again come back to is Iran, where the ulamas are showing the way. Again, maybe some reservations. Please, I may not agree 100%, but something is happening. So don't come back, tell me why do you quote. Something is happening. Not 100%, but something is happening. Something that way. Anyway, so the leaders have shown us various paths, and as I said very briefly, the 72 of Karbala were the real leaders in another way. They came forward, some of them defended namaz when Hussain wanted to perform it, and some went out of the way and fought their battles. And the first one who comes to my mind is Hur. Always say he came as Hur and ended his life as Hazrat Hur. He came as a commander of a small force against Hussain and ended up getting salutations from the followers of Hussain and will get salutations till the end of this world. When we stand up and we say our ziyarat or Sayar Karbala, Hur is included in that. Hur was a leader in his own right, and he also knew the path of the righteous. He was waiting for the opportunity. When the opportunity came, he realized the time has come for him to move away from the wrong path, come to the right path. And in the morning of Roza Ashur, he crossed over. He came and became the first martyr of Karbala. We have various leaders of Karbala. How can we forget the youngsters? how can we forget the friends of Hussain? How can we forget their family? We are very nearly coming to the end of our Azadari period for this year. I don't know what the date is, maybe 2 days or 3 days are left, because I've lost count of the days since I've traveled, came here. And this is the period we think of the Khafila coming back from Karbala to Medina. Just imagine the Medina which had Imam Hussain, the Medina which has the Abbas, the Medina which had Ali Akbar, Qasim and Muhammad, the children of Abbas, the brothers of Abbas, Hazrat Muslim, his children, and the others. Medina was a very whistling, very happy days. But now the caravan is coming back, and two young children, in fact, very eagerly waiting for their fathers to come back. When the caravan reached the outskirts of Medina, Kulsum called Bashir Numan and said, "You are a poet. Your father was a poet. Go and announce in Medina that we have come." And he comes and says, "Medina rehne ki jagah na rahi. Medina rehne ki jagah na rahi." And when the daughter of Imam Hussain heard that the Karbala is returning back, she went and told her grandmother that, "I want to hide behind you. When Baba Hussain asks for me, say that I am dead. And when he starts searching for me, I'll appear to give me new clothes." And there was another youngster, a very young boy, who was looking for his father. Bashir says that when I reached Rawza Nabawi, there was a big crowd there, and I saw this little boy come running towards me. I thought in this melee he might be crushed. So I picked him up, and he asked me, he looked at my face and he said, "Who are you?" He said, "I am looking for my father." He said, "Who is your father?" He said, "My father is the one who took this stand, this alam, this flag." And he says, "I saw an elderly lady with a very noble face coming towards me. And I told this boy, 'Your father is no more. Abbas was slain in Karbala. Both his arms were cut off.'" This boy started crying. When Abbas's mother, Ummul Baneen, heard this, he asked Bashir, "Bashir, tell me whether my Abbas went from this world before Imam Hussain?" He said, "Yes." And she said, looked at the heavens and said, "Janab Fatima, please accept my sacrifice." But Bashir didn't say how the Abbas came from the horse. Did he say that as the Abbas' house's hands were not there and his chest was full of arrows? But when he came down from the horse, he had the support of the arrows, not the hands. This caravan came, the ladies sat down in Rawza Nabawi, and Hussein's daughter Fatima Zohra came, started looking, and she went past and Abba Zainab didn't recognize and asked where Zainab is. Somebody pointed out, said, "This is Zainab." She looked and said, "What happened to you, Puppy? You've become so old. Your hair has gone all white." She said, "Fatima, sit down. Let me tell you what all has happened." She heard everything. She got up. She started looking everywhere and all the other. She said, "What are you looking for? Who are you looking for?" He said, "My Ali Asghar." He said, "Fatima, your Ali Asghar went on your Baba's hand for water." Hurmula's arrow came and pierced his neck. She didn't say that he was buried and his lasha was taken out and his head was cut off from the body. Then Zainab sat down, told everything. Then he said, "I want to go to my mother's grave." In some books it's written that she couldn't walk. She fell down several times, literally crawled to her mother's grave, sat there, told everything. Now there's a very special bond between mother and daughter. A mother and daughter can only share some secrets, some special talks. She asked everybody to leave, to go out, because one particular thing she had never said anywhere else. I'm sure she wanted to say, "Mother, my job was taken away. I had to go to Kufa and Sham without parda. I hid my face with my hair." I'm sure she must have said, "Amma, I had to face Yazid. Amma, I suffered the lashes of Yazid and his army. Amma, my back is still paining because my wounds are not healed yet. Amma, my child." Let me just do two more sentences, I finished off. The time came, and Abdullah came to Imam Ali ibn Hussain and said, "Ali, ask your puppy to come home." She went home, and when she went home, Abdullah was not there. He sat in the forecourt, and she started looking. She must have remembered the places where her children used to play, used to sleep. Till that time, she never mentioned anything about Honor Muhammad. She started crying and was crying very loud as Abdullah came in the house. And he said, "Bibi, who are you? I have not seen you before. What do you want?" Zainab looked up and said, "Abdullah, you didn't recognize me? I am Zainab. I lost everything. Abdullah, my children." आपसे दरख्वास्त है कि बसूरे हमद 3 मरतबा सूरह इखलास सलावत फरमा कर सदिया मेहदी मरहुमा बिनते जाफर अली खान साहब मरहूम, सैयद मेहदी अली इब्न मीर ज़रा हुसैन साहब मरहूम, वहीद बानो बिनते कुर्बान हुसैन खान साहब मरहूम, सदिया बानो बिनते अखली इब्राहिम साहब मरहूम, नजफ अली खान साहब मरहूम, इब्ने मिर्ज़ा मोहम्मद अली खान साहब मरहूम, मीर कासिम अली साहब मरहूम, इब्ने अबुल कासिम साहब मरहूम के लिए साहब फरमाए। پروردگارہ اس خیر عطا قبول کر، پروردگار ہم سب میں نیک توفیق دے، پروردگارہ تو ان مومنین کو جو ایسے مقامات پہ رہ کر تیرے دیے ہوئے اسلام کو سنبھال رہے ہیں، اس کو آگے لے کے بڑھ رہے ہیں، ان کے توفیقات میں اضافہ کر۔ پروردگارہ ان بچوں کو جو یہاں پیدا ہوئے ہیں، یہاں پڑھ رہے ہیں، یہاں بڑھ رہے ہیں، انہیں صراط مستقیم پر رکھ، پروردگارہ ان کو راہ اسلام پر رکھ، ان کو راہ کربلا پر رکھ، ان کا شمار ماتمداران کربلا میں رکھ۔
Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein, Ya Hussein.